Hi guys, welcome to Kpop Talks. I'm your host. Today we're doing the best Kpop songs of October 2023. It's been a long time. I've been dropping videos relatively consistently, I would say. Got back with some of the old stuff I was supposed to release, and now I'm a little bit more settled. And let's get into it. We have a bunch of songs to talk about. I think October was a great month. I think November is following out to be a great month as well. And let's not waste so much time. Let's get right into the video and what are the songs that I consider to be the best songs of this month. First, we have BY with Holy Toast. BY is obviously one of the best rappers in Korea. He hasn't been very active, I would say, in recent memory. He took off some time. I don't remember if it was last year or 2021 that he dropped a full-length project, and he has been very consistent, I would say. During that period of time, then he took a break. He normally does that he has done that throughout his career, and he's came back with a very fun song, crazy banger. Love the production on it. I love his lyrics, as always, one of the best lyrical rappers in Korea. And one thing I really like is he has matured so much as an artist that he clearly understands who he is. So every type of song that he does, whether it's more serious or less serious, more experimental or less experimental, he knows exactly how to bring the best out of himself. The music videos obviously support him. He has probably the best music video crew in the game. And yeah, the song is fantastic. It's one of the best hip-hop songs of the month, but definitely one of the better ones of the year, 100%. Next we have Ween with In The Mood. Ween has been pretty active, I would say, this last couple of years since she went pretty much solo and joined Ravi's company. I like this. This is probably her best release, maybe. Best single, definitely, I would say. Just catchy, fun. Obviously, Ween's vocals. She's one of the best singers in Korea, so don't necessarily doubt the quality there. And I really enjoy it, and I think it's a quality track that really sets her apart, as always, from her peers, and still keeps her relevant because she obviously knows how to make good music even in this era without selling herself short or selling short the quality of the music. So really good song by one of the best obviously singers in the industry. Next I have Song Song Hee with Azura Jang. A very interesting track. I really like this very interesting, modern, like very upbeat style tempo production with this kind of like traditional Korean way of singing, and the way she's been able to fuse them together on a similar wave than people like Anyeon. I think she has done really amazing. It's such a fun, different song. It's one of the more original songs I've heard, definitely the last 2 or 3 years in the genre. So definitely want to praise it and give it its flowers, because these type of songs are very rare, not only in Korea but in general. This way of fusing this type of different styles from different eras and making it work, I think it's very hard. Next we have Extraordinary Heroes with Break the Break. Again, I think I've said this a million times, but Extraordinary Heroes have become a really solid group, a group that I look forward whenever they drop. Quality track. Love the production on it. The chorus is good. It's a little bit more K-pop than rock per se, but I definitely do think that even though that's the case, no, sorry, it's more rock than K-pop. My bad, I confused it. Even though it's more rock than K-pop, I think this case they've done a very good job at like adapting stylistically and making a very fun song. Love the use of the effects on the voices. It's done well. Overall, I think it's a very enjoyable track by one of the best groups in the country. Specifically of the last couple of years. If you told me a year ago about Extraordinary Heroes and where they would have ended up being, I would have told you I was not gonna be a fan. In fact, they completely reversed my expectation, and I really enjoy their music. Next we have Bobby featuring Justice with Hercules. It's one of the most fun Korean hip-hop songs I've heard this year, probably the most interesting one. I really love the way they use this very video game 90s early 2000 type of production with this super high speed production, kind of like high BPM. Loved Bobby's part. Justice brings a different voice, a different, more darker, I would say, elements to the track. The lyrics are there, which is not always the case, but I really like the way they use this kind of like Need for Speedish, kind of like like Shaun White's type of video game productions, like the way they've been able to do it and do it good, I think is the most impressive thing. Very fun music video. This very retro 90s 2000 style of video game type of music video. They've done a great job at it. I mean, Bobby's had a good year. I think last year I would have not said the same. This year has had a better year. He's more comfortable, obviously, to do whatever he wants. Probably seems he probably feels a little bit more stable and feels more daring artistically this year compared to last year, in my opinion. And you can really see it with this track. So it's definitely one of the most fun ones and one of the most impressive tracks I think Bobby has ever dropped. Next we have Genie featuring Amine with "Come On." Really fun song. I've really enjoyed it, honestly. Um, Great production. Amina brings a very fun feature. The chorus is there. Production is nothing special, but as I say every time, even if you're not gonna choose a super interesting production, try to put everything around it good. And I think not only Genie brings a very good performance, like I said, Amina enriches the track with his feature, and by definition makes the song more fun to listen to and more fun to enjoy and to follow. So overall, that makes it a very fun track. Makes it one of the best tracks of this month by far, and one of the most interesting solo debuts in quite some time, because I think this is her debut if I'm not mistaken, or even if it isn't, just one of the more interesting singles I've heard this year. Next we have Young Posse with Macaroni Cheese. Now I've seen a lot of people hate this track. I love it. I like how weird it is, how almost surreal it is, all about these like about food, but the vibes are there. I think the girls have a very very unique way of making music. They all have a very unique color, the way they perform, the way they sing, the way they approach the track. The production is hard. I think the production is very good. The chorus is very fun to listen to, and even though there's a tacky element to it, maybe a little bit, because we said oh it's corny, but I don't think it is corny. I just think it's a little bit tacky, a little bit over the top on purpose. But by doing that, as I've said, you might not make the best song of all time. You might make the most original song up there, but you're at least making something that makes you stand out in the industry, and in my opinion, while doing a very good song as well. So I have to praise them. One of the more interesting debuts of this month, 100%. They're gonna have their haters for sure, but I hope they don't change their styles to appease more people. That's my only hope. If they can keep being themselves and be good and consistently bring the best music possible, of course when you do this type of music, people are not gonna like you, but who cares? Do you? And I hope they keep doing it. That's just my hope at the end of the day. Loco featuring Lil Cherry with He. Loco dropped one of the hardest albums of October, and on top of dropping one of the hardest albums of October, he also dropped a very very good song with Lil Cherry. Hard hitting production. Again, I think Loco is a way better producer than singer or rapper in my opinion, but I think one of his abilities, similar to Code Kunst, I think maybe on a lower level, is he's able to always bring the best out of his features. Lil Cherry kills this feature, and Loco kills this song as well. It's a fun song. It's super short. It's like 3 minutes. It flies by. It feels like it's 2 minutes, and it's really really enjoyable to listen to. You go through it, you move on, and you're happy about it. So it's one of the better tracks of this month, 100%. Next we have Balming Tiger with Moving Forward. Another very very interesting song by Balming Tiger. Very very interesting, super fun production with these different synths and 808s and different sound effects they put on the production, and then these very very varying like performances inside of the track, from more heartfelt vocals to more soft vocals brought by not dress by what's her name, fuck, I forgot her name right now. What's her name? Fuck. Please tell me her name. Please. Please tell me her name. Sogum. I couldn't think of her name. Sogum, yeah. Like, she brings a great performance, and everybody gives a great performance. So overall, it's one of the more fun songs, and definitely one of the more interesting songs. I hope Balming Tiger keeps going this route. They've tried different things, even to a certain extent. They'll never admit it, to ride a little bit the RM wave from a year ago, like not really ago, but like 4 or 5 months ago. And I think them doing this, while in the short run brings you less fame, like success, I guess. I think you're more true to yourself artistically, and I think it showcases in the album, where apart from maybe one track or two, the rest are all fucking fantastic. So yeah. Next is Billy Dang Hocus Pocus. Very fun song. Billy keeps being probably the most active K-pop fourth generation girl group, and they're not just active, they're really good. They never drop bad music. So yeah, I don't have much to say apart from the fact that Billy keeps being one of the best groups in the country, and one of the most consistently great groups in the country, if not the most consistent, really. Next up, Rides We Talk Sexy. As I've said, I think this is one of the more interesting debuts that SM has probably done in recent memory. Really fun production, different. They really have an idea of making them sound and look different than any other group they have. They're not trying to make an NCT clone, they're not trying to make a EXO clone or a Shiny clone. They're trying to make something super original. And while doing that, I think they can sometimes not do their best, like it happened with aespa, at first at least. And I think now it's the opposite. I think they started very, very good, and hopefully they can keep going. For now, they have been going pretty good. Let's see how long they can keep this track record of releasing, I think, very, very interesting music and growing as a group, because I'm curious to see how popular a group like this can get. Is their intention of SM to just make them popular but not like trying to chase like the biggest group in the country type of status? If that's the case, I can respect it to a certain extent. I just don't think so, because if I know SM relatively well, they'll try to push them a little bit. Not so much, they historically have never really done it in the sense of like taking a group and trying to make them the most super popular way possible. They don't really care, but I can see them trying to do that with this group. They obviously have appeal. As for instance, they even have like international appeal with a lot of fans, so they probably will try to do something a little bit different, and we'll see how it hits. I think they have a lot of potential. I think for their first year, for a debut, it's pretty fucking good. And then we end the video with ISO, with Black Diamond, who comes back with a completely different track, kind of alternative, like alternative rock, kind of like I wouldn't even say like it's post-punk, but it kind of has some of that vibe as well. Very, very eerie, very interesting, dark, followed by her very good vocals. If I'm not mistaken, there's situations where she has effects on her voice that not necessarily are the best, necessarily the most enjoyable. But I think they've done a good job of putting those effects in her voice, because she's a good singer and she's able to, and she understands her voice at her best and what brings the best out of her, and what type of things bring the best out of her voice. I think this is one of the better tracks of the year. I was interrupted, but thank you for watching the video. Thank you for watching the best songs of October 2023. As you see, there was a lot of variety. I thought October was a very, very good month. November is setting up to be a way better month in my opinion, and you'll see next week when the videos will start coming out, because I've been actually more active with listenings and everything this month. And yeah, I think it was a good month overall. Not a lot of bad songs. There's definitely some bad songs we're going to talk about in the worst video, but the worst video is going to be more about, of course, going to be less songs, but I want to actually sit there and talk about why I don't like the songs and what that means actually for some of these artists, because I think it's a very important discussion for specifically some of them. So thank you for watching as always, and see you next video.